The Enchanted Frog.
Once upon a time, there was a castle in a faraway land. And in the castle lived a very spoilt princess. The princess got absolutely everything she ever wanted: a golden-maned pony, a candy cane bicycle, and even a diamond-covered dress, which she never even wore. One morning, the princess woke up with a greedy look in her eye. "I want a golden ball, Daddy," she said. "Of course, Sugar Lump," said the king. "Anything for you." The king called his head goldsman and said, "Melt down our finest golden statue to make this ball immediately." "Yes, your kingship," said the head goldsman. Soon he came back with a magnificent, shining golden ball for the princess. The princess snatched the golden ball and rushed outside to the garden, but she tripped over. The golden ball flew out of her hands high up into the air. Then it came down and landed with a big splosh right in the middle of the garden pond and sank straight to the bottom. "Oh, Fiddlesticks," muttered the princess. Then the strangest thing happened. "I can help," said a voice. The princess looked around, but no one was there. "I said I can help," said the voice again. The princess looked down to see a little green frog smiling and waving up at her. "There's no such thing as a talking frog," she thought to herself. "Oh, you can talk after all," said the princess. "Yeah, of course I can talk. Now do you want your ball back or not?" "Oh, yes, I do," said the princess. "Okay then," said the frog. "But there's one condition." "And what's that?" replied the princess. "If I get your ball, you must promise to give me a kiss in return," said the frog. "Kiss a frog?" snorted the princess. "Ew, that is disgusting. You're all green and slimy and yucky and horrible. Never in a million years would I kiss you." "No way." "Suit yourself," replied the frog, and he hopped back onto his lily pad in the middle of the pond. The princess spent the next half an hour splashing, wading, and scooping for the ball, without any luck. "You sure you don't need my help?" said the frog. "Oh, all right then," grunted the princess. "My golden ball in exchange for one yucky froggy kiss." He plopped into the water and quickly came back with the ball. "And now for my kiss," said the frog. But the princess just snatched the ball from the frog. She set off as fast as she could towards the castle. But there was something the princess didn't know. You see, the king had been out walking in the garden, and he had seen and heard everything. "And where do you think you're going, young lady?" said the king. "Daddy," replied the princess. "It looks like you've promised this frog a kiss, and we should always keep our promises." "Oh, but Daddy, he's so slimy and green and yucky looking," she said. "A promise is a promise," said the king. So the princess went back to the pond. There was the frog sitting on his lily pad. He had a big smile on his face. He hopped over to her. She huffed and puffed and held her breath, and then she said, "Ew." But finally, the princess bent down and gave the frog a wet, squelchy kiss on the lips. Suddenly, there was a loud bang. When the smoke cleared, the princess was amazed to see an exceedingly dazzling prince. "Golly Gumdrops," said the princess. "I wasn't expecting that to happen." The prince smiled and told her that a wicked witch had turned him into a frog many years ago, and the only way to break the froggy spell was a kiss on the lips from a true princess. "Oh, prince," said the princess, "I'm sorry for being so horrible to you and saying ew. I had no idea you were a prince." "My darling," said the king, "it doesn't make any difference if he is a prince or a frog or a spider for that matter. You should treat everyone as you would like to be treated." And that is where this froggy fairy tale ends, except to say from that day, the princess changed and was kind to everyone she met. The prince and the princess became the very best of friends. After a long time, they finally got married, and they lived happily ever after.
All right, everyone. Now it's time to dive into all the tricky words and expressions we encountered in the story. After we go through these, we'll watch the story again, and everything will make much more sense. Let's get started. Spoilt or spoiled. If someone is spoilt, they usually get everything they want, which often makes them behave badly or expect too much. By the way, spoilt and spoiled mean the same thing. Spoilt is just the British English spelling, and spoiled is the American English spelling. Check out these other examples. The spoilt boy got angry when his parents didn't buy him the newest phone. The spoilt princess demanded that everyone cater to her every wish. Absolutely is used to show that you are very sure about something or that something is completely true. Check out these other examples. I absolutely love chocolate ice cream. The weather is absolutely perfect for a picnic. A mane is the long hair growing from the top of an animal's head and along its neck, like a horse or a lion. If something is described as golden-maned, it means it has a mane that is a bright, shiny gold color. The golden-maned lion looked majestic in the sunlight. She rode her golden-maned horse through the fields. Greedy. If someone is greedy, they want more of something, like money or food, than they really need. Check out these other examples. Don't be greedy. Share your toys with others. The greedy king taxed his people heavily. Melt or melt down. Use melt when talking about something changing from solid to liquid. Use melt down when talking about melting something completely, often for a specific purpose, or in a figurative sense, to describe a breakdown. Melted down is the past tense. Check out these other examples. The snowman melted as the weather warmed up. The ice cubes started to melt in the glass. The goldsmith decided to melt down the old coins to create a new sculpture. The chef melted down the butter to use in the cake recipe. The constant pressure at work caused him to melt down during the meeting. Magnificent is an adjective we use to describe something that is very beautiful, impressive, or grand. Check out these other examples. The palace was truly magnificent. Her dress was magnificent, covered in shimmering beads and sequins. Snatch means to grab something quickly or suddenly. The past tense form is snatched. Check out these other examples. He snatched the last slice of pizza before anyone else could get it. The thief snatched her purse and disappeared into the crowd. Trip over means to lose your balance and fall because you hit your foot against something. The past tense form is tripped over. Check out these other examples. She tripped over the carpet edge and almost fell. The technician tripped over a bundle of cables while working. Fly out means to move quickly through the air. The past tense of the verb is flew out. Check out these other examples. The birds are flying out of the cage. The kite flew out of control in the strong wind. Splosh is an informal term used to describe the sound or action of something heavy falling into liquid, often making a louder noise because a lot of liquid is moved. Check out these other examples. The rock made a big splosh when it hit the water. Splash has the same meaning as splosh, but is more commonly used. It describes the sudden movement of liquid and the noise it makes when something hits or moves through it. The kids love to splash in the puddles after it rains. The raindrops made tiny splashes on the surface of the pond. Fiddlesticks is an exclamation used to express mild frustration, disappointment, or annoyance. It's informal and often used in a playful or sarcastic manner. It's similar to saying, "Oh dear," or "Oh no," when something goes wrong or doesn't turn out as expected. Check out these other examples. Fiddlesticks. I spilled coffee on my new shirt. Fiddlesticks. I left my umbrella at home. Mutter means to speak quietly, usually in a way that others may find hard to hear or understand. It's often used when someone is speaking to themselves or expressing dissatisfaction. Check out these other examples. He mutters to himself whenever he's working on a difficult problem. She is muttering about the noisy neighbors. Snort means to make a sudden loud sound by blowing air through your nose, usually because you're laughing or don't believe something. It can also describe the sound made by animals like pigs when they breathe heavily or are excited. Snorted is the past tense form. Check out these other examples. The pig snorted in excitement when it saw the farmer bringing food. She snorted with laughter at his silly joke. Disgusting is an adjective that describes something that causes a strong feeling of dislike because it is extremely unpleasant or offensive. Check out these other examples. The rotten food in the fridge smelled disgusting. Finding a hair in her soup was really disgusting. Slimy describes something that feels slippery, often wet and unpleasant to touch, like the texture of certain animals or substances. Check out these other examples. The fish was slimy when I tried to hold it. She didn't want to touch the slimy frog because it felt so slippery. Yucky is an informal term used to describe something that is gross, unappealing, or unpleasant to experience. It's often used to express a strong dislike for the way something looks, tastes, or feels. Check out these other examples. She made a face and said, "That medicine tastes really yucky." The trash hadn't been taken out in days, making the kitchen smell yucky and unpleasant. Horrible is an adjective used to describe something that causes a strong feeling of fear, shock, or disgust because it is extremely bad or dreadful. It can also describe anything very unpleasant. Check out these other examples. The traffic was horrible this morning, and it made me late for work. She had a horrible headache after staying up all night studying. Never in a million years would is an expression used to emphasize that something is so unlikely to happen that it never will. It's a strong way to say absolutely never. It's used to stress how strongly someone feels about not doing something. Check out these other examples. Never in a million years would I sing in front of a crowd. Never in a million years would he eat meat. No way is an informal expression used to strongly convey disbelief, refusal, or strong disagreement towards something. It's often used in casual conversations. When someone says, "no way," they are emphatically stating that something is not possible, not acceptable, or not believable. It can express surprise or a firm refusal. Check out these other examples.
Did you hear? Sarah won the lottery.
No way! That's incredible! I think pineapple belongs on pizza.
No way, fruit doesn't belong on pizza.
Suit yourself is an expression used to tell someone that they can do what they want, often when you don't agree with what they decide to do. It's like saying, "Do what you want, it's your decision." Check out these other examples.
I'm going to skip breakfast and just have coffee.
Suit yourself, but don't complain if you get hungry later.
He didn't want to try the new restaurant, so his friends told him, "Suit yourself." Hop means a short jump by a person on one foot, or by a bird, animal, or insect on all of its feet, or two of its feet at the same time. It can also refer to moving quickly, or getting into, or out of something fast. The past tense of hop is hopped. Check out these other examples. The rabbit hopped across the yard. It means the rabbit made small jumps across the yard. I need to hop into the car and get to work. It means that person needs to quickly get into the car and drive to work. Hop back means to jump or move quickly back to a place where someone or something was before. The past tense of hop back is hopped back. The frog hopped back into the pond where it had been resting earlier. Wade means to walk through water or another liquid substance, typically with slow and careful steps. It can also refer to moving through something that slows you down, like mud or deep snow. Wade can also mean to move through something that is difficult or challenging, like navigating through a tough situation or overcoming obstacles. Check out these other examples. The children were wading through the shallow end of the lake. She had to wade through a lot of paperwork to find the necessary documents. Scoop can refer to both the action of using a tool, like a spoon or ladle, and the object itself, used for scooping, which involves lifting or gathering something quickly and in a sweeping motion. Check out these other examples. The princess spent the next half an hour splashing, waiting, and scooping for the ball. In this context, the princess is likely trying to get the ball from the water by scooping it up with her hands or a tool. He was scooping sand into buckets to build a sandcastle. Scoop can also be used to describe acquiring information quickly or before others. For example, the reporter scooped the news about the celebrity's secret wedding. Grunt means to make a short, low sound in the throat, usually when someone is expressing effort, feeling annoyed, or showing dissatisfaction. Check out these other examples. He grunted while lifting the heavy box onto the truck. She grunted in frustration when the jar wouldn't open. Plop is used to talk about something falling or put down with a soft, heavy sound. It can describe both the action and the sound. The past tense of plop is plopped. Check out these other examples. As a noun, the frog jumped into the pond with a soft plop. As a verb, the ice cubes plopped into the glass of water. He plopped down onto the bed, exhausted after a long day at work. Set off is a versatile phrase with multiple meanings depending on the context. It can mean to start a journey or begin a trip. For example, we set off for the beach early in the morning. Once dinner with friends was over, they set off for home, feeling satisfied and happy. Set off can also mean to trigger or cause something to happen. For example, the smoke set off the fire alarm. In a decorative sense, set off can mean to make something stand out or enhance its appearance. For example, her necklace set off her dress perfectly. The new furniture really sets off the living room. Additionally, set off can refer to causing an explosion. For example, during the festival, they set off fireworks every evening. Huff and puff is an expression that typically means to breathe heavily or loudly due to physical effort. For example, after climbing the stairs, he huffed and puffed for a few minutes to catch his breath. Huff and puff can also be used to show annoyance or frustration. It's a figurative expression often used when someone is visibly or audibly showing displeasure or irritation about a task or situation they have to deal with. For example, when the internet went out again, she huffed and puffed and muttered about switching to a different provider. She huffed and puffed when she was asked to do her own laundry. Squelchy is an adjective that describes something wet, soft, and making a sucking sound when walked on or touched. Check out these other examples. His shoes made a squelchy sound when walking through muddy fields. Here it means that as he walked through the muddy fields, his shoes produced a wet, sucking sound due to the water or mud. Squelchy, in this context, describes the sound of something wet or muddy being compressed underfoot. The princess leaned forward and gave a squelchy kiss on the lips of the frog. It describes how the kiss given by the princess to the frog was wet, soggy, and possibly made a squishing or sucking sound due to the moist nature of the frog's skin. Here's the explanation of the word bang. Imagine a loud and sudden noise, like when a door slams shut, fireworks go off, you hear a gunshot, someone drops something heavy, thunder cracks, or a balloon pops. That's a bang. Generally, it's the kind of sound that catches you by surprise. Check out these other examples. He heard a bang in the distance and realized it was a gunshot. In this example, the sharp, loud sound of a gun firing is referred to as a bang. The balloon popped with a bang, startling everyone in the room. In this example, the loud and sudden noise made when a balloon bursts is called a bang. Sometimes, bang can also mean something exciting or surprising that grabs your attention, like a surprising and dramatic ending in a movie or a big finale at a concert. The movie ended with a bang, leaving everyone in the theater shocked and amazed. The game started with a bang, with a goal scored in the first minute. Exceedingly means very or extremely. and is used to highlight that something is much more intense or significant than usual. Check out these other examples. The weather was exceedingly hot today. It means the weather was very hot, much hotter than usual. The cake she baked was exceedingly delicious. It means the cake was remarkably delicious, much tastier than ordinary cakes. Dazzle can mean to temporarily blind, to amaze or impress, or to leave someone feeling astonished or deeply impressed by brilliance or beauty. The adjective form dazzling describes something extremely bright, beautiful, or impressive. Check out these other examples. The headlights of the oncoming car dazzled me, making it hard to see the road. It means the bright lights caused a temporary blinding effect. She wore a dazzling dress to the gala, attracting everyone's attention. It means the dress was so beautiful and impressive that it caught everyone's eye. The sun was dazzling, making it difficult to keep our eyes open without sunglasses. It means the sunlight was so bright that it was hard to see without protection. Golly Gumdrops is an exclamation used to express surprise, amazement, or delight. It's a playful and somewhat old-fashioned phrase. Check out these other examples. Golly Gumdrops. That magic trick was incredible. It means you're amazed by a magic trick or impressive performance. Golly Gumdrops. I didn't expect to see you here. It means you unexpectedly run into someone you know. Wicked can have different meanings depending on the context, describing either something very bad or very good. The first meaning of wicked is when it describes actions, behaviors, or intentions that are evil, bad, harmful, unethical, malevolent, or immoral. Check out these examples. The villain in the movie had a wicked plan to take over the world. The wicked queen tried to poison the princess out of jealousy. In a more informal and often regional context, especially in British English, wicked can mean something exceptionally good or impressive. This usage is more casual and positive, highlighting something that stands out because of its excellence, excitement, or enjoyability. Check out these examples. You did a wicked job on that project. It means the project work was impressive and exceptionally good. She has a wicked sense of humor that always makes everyone laugh. It means her sense of humor is very impressive and enjoyable. A wicked witch is an evil woman with magical powers, typically featured in fairy tales and folklore. For example, the wicked witch cast a spell on the prince, turning him into a frog. In an informal way, wicked witch is used to describe a very mean or cruel woman. For example, everyone in the office thinks the new manager is a wicked witch because of her harsh rules.
Thank you so much for joining me on the magical journey of the Enchanted Frog. I hope you enjoyed the story and found the explanations of those tricky words and phrases super engaging and helpful. Keep the magic alive by watching our other videos to continue improving your English skills. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fun and educational adventures. Until next time, keep learning and stay enchanted.